Next task in the tutorial is setting up a security checkpoint and exit. We also need to have a boarding desk and a check-in desk. Okay, so the tutorial starts with 2 small check-in desks. Let's do that. Let's do it in order. So, under desks, we have information desks, flight information displays, which are not desks. I'm a little surprised they're not under decoration, honestly. Check-in desks and boarding desks. So let's go with a check-in desk. Let's see. Yes, back here. You have to select the size. These are categories, and these are your options. So with this one, I have to select the size. There is only small at this point in time. When I first played this, I thought, oh, I need to leave room for staff to get around. In actual fact, you really don't. The desk incorporates space for the staff members to get around. And I'm going to plunk them in, yeah, the bottom corner. I am just going to put the 2 in that I asked for on this occasion. Right, now we need to zone part of our terminal as secure. And that's where I need to start thinking about my airport design a bit better. Bear with me while I redesign my airport a bit, and then we'll pick up from here on. Okay, I've changed things around a bit because it's hard to try to demonstrate some of these things following the tutorial and actually plan ahead at the same time. So I made a few little mistakes that affect me. As long as you're not copying my exact layout, you're not going to have a problem. So we were talking about desks and security. So we've put in our check-in desks, and now we need to put in a security zone. Now I'm going to start by placing that here, up to there. Now we need to put some security checkpoints in. We only have the small variety at the moment. I'm going to place one here and one here, and also at least one security exit. I generally find 1 is enough for this, and I'm going to actually have a 3rd checkpoint just for neatness sake. And let's just block that little gap. Right. Now we need to place a boarding desk near each stand. Now at this point in time, it's assuming that you're talking about the general aviation stands, but I've gone ahead and built some other stands which we're going to use for commercial flights. Now, in order to place that, I would need to put them in a secure zone. So if I just demonstrate, let's go to boarding desk. I can place them here, but I cannot place them in this grey area where there's no security. So security zone must be placed first. Right, now, desks, boarding desks, small ones. This is where zoning hashes get really irritating. It's very, very hard to see the crosswalk there. So if I press Z to switch that off, now we can see. I cannot for the life of me remember which way around the doors go. And for some reason that's let me build a wall there. Let's get rid of that. Ordinarily, if there's a stand there already, you can't place a wall over the blue markers that you're going to see shortly. I'm just going to go ahead and put the doors in now. Nope, the blue markers are just not showing up today. There should be a marker showing which way the passengers board and which way they deboard, or plane and deplane, whatever the correct terminology is. I'm not going to worry about it. Let's just go and place our small boarding desks here. Cannot block the gate entrance. Okay. What about if I put it there? Interesting. Alright, let's put it one space back. From memory, the boarding side is the right-hand side, which is the top in this current orientation. So I'm just assuming I've got that correct. It doesn't matter, the passengers will figure it out anyway, but let's just place all of those. They of course need to actually get constructed, and our contractors are having to do quite a bit of walking right now. Right, as they become available, we can click on them and we can say connect to stand. You can select one and then Shift, click the next one, and you'll see this has changed. I'll demonstrate that again. At the moment you can see it's not connected, it's not a remote stand. If I hold down Shift and click on the next one, that changes. Nothing here highlights to show that you've selected successfully, which is a bit awkward. You can shift click multiple stands and then assign them to one stand. That's not what we're doing right now, we're just assigning one desk per stand. And this is another one of those spots where the interface is a bit clunky. Click, 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 click again to get out of that. Then select stand, click once, click twice. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the deal is there. Right, so they're all selected and connected up. Now we need to enable commercial flights. So if we go to each one of these stands that I've placed here and say switch to commercial, don't think you can. Oh, you can. Okay. Switch those all to commercial. And the runway itself, which needs repairing yet again. I'm going to upgrade that now while we're on the topic. So if we hit Runway Upgrade while it's on 3% condition, it will remain on 3% condition. And it will cost you money to then upgrade it. Once you upgrade it, it will cost more money to repair. So repair first, then upgrade. And we'll just go with asphalt, but that's the only option I have right now. That should make it last a bit longer. It's also cheaper to operate. Remember that operating costs are your daily costs for having various bits and pieces around your airport, whereas repair cost is an additional overhead beyond operating costs. So, the runway, we need to open it for commercial flights. That's this option down here. Select that one. Right, we've moved to the next step. Now we need to hire some more people. We've got security gates, we've got boarding desks, we've got check-in desks. I said those are the wrong way around. There's our blue markers. I told you they should exist. So arrivals come in this side, departures go out that side. So I did have it the right way around. Right, it wants me to hire people. Sure, let's do that. Let's do our trick to a little degree at least. Reject all the lowest ones. And just hire the greens. I'm going to get some more administrators now, just because I know I'm going to want them later. I'm not going to hire the executive suite right now, because that will come up in the tutorial, and I want to demonstrate it in order. It wants me to hire passenger service agents. I'm going to hire way more than I need. And security agents. Again, hiring more than I need. Ramp agents. Ramp agents are effectively the service technicians for the aircraft themselves. And janitors. Shouldn't need to explain what janitors do. Again, hiring way more than I actually need right now, but I know, despite how bad my income looks at this precise moment, I will be making plenty of money. It's not an issue. Right, that's all the types it has told me to hire. That's what I'm going to do. I could go ahead and get all the executives. I could go and get service technicians as well. I don't think they were mentioned. No. But I'm going to leave that for when it comes up. Right, the next thing it's telling me is about enabling the ramp agent service. If I go back into this menu, under operations, we can enable... Oh yes, I need to re-enable my fuel. You may remember in an earlier episode I disabled fuel because I was rebuilding part of this road. That's been sorted, it can be switched on again. Switching on ramp agent service round means that ramp agents will actually visit the stands each time there's a plane there. They'll ignore general aviation, but your commercial flights will want it. Each time a plane pulls in, it gets checked to make sure the tyres aren't going to bust, if the engine's not spitting out smoke, and all those sorts of things. Now you can also see I haven't actually connected up the taxi path yet, so let's do that. And in fact, just before I do that, I want to talk again about taxiway. You saw me upgrade a runway. That was a button on the runway. The same applies to ramps. That's a button on the ramp. Upgrade to asphalt. Upgrade to asphalt. There is no clicky option for taxiways, or for your service roads, or your public roads, or any other path. The way to upgrade it is to select the new type and just build it again. You do not have to delete the existing path, you just simply overwrite it. And it's for this reason I generally like to go straight into building the highest available type. Usually that's asphalt, later on it becomes concrete, because you're not saving anything by putting grass in first. Yes, grass is cheaper to put down initially, but it costs you more to operate, and you're going to have to pay the full price of upgrading it to something else later anyway. You may as well, if you've got money to start with, you may as well put down the higher quality thing to begin with. I believe stands are the exception to that rule, possibly runways as well, because they have an upgrade option in their details. Some of them actually factor in the different cost. This is, if I look at grass. Grass costs 6,500 to upgrade to asphalt. If we compare the price, 20,000 to put down or 30,000 to put down, it is actually cheaper to build grass first and then immediately change it to asphalt. I hadn't spotted that. So, that's interesting. I am actually burning through my money quite quickly, so I'm not going to rush through doing that. But I now need to set up the taxiway path. That is just a dotted line, it's really just paint on the surface. Ta-da! Okay. Right, we'll get to flights in a moment. I just want to check a few things before we move on. Nope, I think we're good. So, we have security staff. They've gone to the signposts already. We have excess staff standing around doing nothing. We have check-in desks, we have boarding desks, we have stands, yes, it's time to move on to actually booking in flights.